year that the Rams bested the Patriots. On the other side, Fairfield beat the Bobcats for the second time on the season, 51-44, kept that offense in check. Off the opening tip, we're underway, and the Patriots have the first possession. Handled by Kennedy Harris, a spark plug in this George Mason offense. Now for Walton. Couple of A-10 first-teamers here inside. A look to Kamara. Backing down, twisting, turning, and the shot won't count as she turns it over.
It's been 10 days since both of these teams have played. They both had their conference tournament a weekend ago. You might see a little rust coming out here.
Starting lineup for the Bobcats. Ella Ryan, Ella O'Donnell, Carson Martin, Sydney Ryan, and Jackie Grisdale. And an early 2-0 lead as Ella Ryan puts the Bobcats on the board. Here's Harris, close quarters flip now to Walton, driving left side of the lane, off the glass, a little strong, but there's Kamara, that's her game. Pulls it off the boards and gives the Patriots a second chance at it. Walton from the corner, slings it back out to Jada Brown, who was thrust into a starting role this season. Off the glass, and Jada Brown gets it done.
It's a good sign for George Mason to get Brown into the game offensively early. Little spark from her.
Brown played over 25 minutes per game this season and averaged nearly 8 points per contest. Back outside to Sydney Ryan. High arcing three is no good, and the Patriots looking for their first lead tonight. Left sideline to Walton, now in for Jada Brown, and that one spirals off the cylinder, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Sydney Ryan, the senior guard from Brentwood, Tennessee. Three-pointer for the right corner is good by Grisdale, who found some open space, and the Patriots just gave her way too much room.
Quick push to here. Walton tried to draw a foul there after the pass, but no call by the refs.
Here's Walton, an inside-out move, and with the left hand, she gets that one to fall to cut the lead to 1. So Hero Walton this season averaged 17.9 points per game. That was second most in the Atlantic 10. Sydney Ryan backs away from trouble. Here's Ella Ryan. Bounce pass inside to O'Donnell. Looking to work her way inside. Kicks it back out to Grisdale. Looking for three, and back-to-back three-pointers by Jackie Grisdale, who was 14th in the MAC this year, averaging 12.2 points per game. It's a 4-point Bobcats lead.
Maybe that's what we talked about in the opening about a three-point. Woo! That stopped me in my tracks, Steve.
So Walton with a great move, but couldn't get the shot to fall.
As we mentioned, this is what she likes to do. Grisdale can spot up from deep. She got one in transition, one off penetration. We'll see him come in here in a minute. And for Mason, they need to know where she is all the time on the floor.
And Debbie, not only Grisdale, but also Ella Ryan, a couple of the top three-point shooters in the MAC this season. Kennedy Harris directing traffic for the Patriots. Back outside to Awa Kamara, and now for Harris, looking for three, back of the iron, no good. And chasing that loose ball is Grisdale. Grisdale became the 18th Bobcat player to reach the 1,000-point plateau in their D1 history this season. Grisdale, now Ella Ryan, top of the key, left sideline, hands it off. Foley. Now the three-pointer by Martin is no good. Couple of misses the last time down the court for the Bobcats. Kennedy Harris on the dribble, now Kamara all the way around to Volker, who's a spark plug on this Patriot squad. Little flip to Walton, right on top of the George Mason logo. Patriots making their second straight postseason tournament appearance. Last year made it to the NCAAs. Here's a jumper by Kennedy Harris from the left side, and the Patriots cut it to 2.
Nice mid-range, good patience by George Mason that time. Everybody got a touch.
In that Atlantic 10 tournament championship game against Rhode Island, the Patriots got off to a good start. They led the Rams 15-7 after the first quarter. Here's a flip to Carson Martin. Thought about the three again, this time peels away. The junior guard looking for space against her opposite number 15, Lewis Volker. Inside maneuver now to O'Donnell. Kamara, like a blanket, all over her. Now it's Martin. Thought she had fewer seconds than she did, maybe had more time, and here's Kennedy Harris with a chance to tie or take the lead. Into the corner, it's Volker, back outside to Harris. Harris looking for Brown, little one-touch flip with the right hand. Now Brown into the lane, thought Harris was waiting for the pass, she wasn't, and that's a turnover by George Mason. Martin, jump stop, back outside to Ella Ryan for three, and that's the third three-pointer by the Bobcats here in the first.
So Quinnipiac has taken 6 three-pointers already. There's no defense that's too close. You got to get up on them right away.
Zahira Walton with the Patriots trailing by 5. Kennedy Harris may have gotten away with a push-off there, and the shot won't fall. Rebound by Sipla, and there's a whistle.
That was a fast pace. Here we go. We see him. 1 3-pointer. He's just going to keep coming. Keep coming.
You're watching the 2026 WBIT on ESPN+.
Hey. So nice. So good.
Go just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Look. Seems like you like her. Just go up to her. Say hello. 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 Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Think the best of the best don't herd together? Rethink how to round up the GOATs. 100 innovative companies, all in one ETF. Invesco QQQ.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus or summary prospectus at Invesco.com.
Everyone has their favorite part of property management. Isn't it time your least favorite parts got easier? With TurboTenant's all-in-one platform, you can manage your rentals from anywhere. Meaning you just went from this to this. Landlord better, from anywhere, for free at TurboTenant.com.
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring Event. Honda vehicles are built for exploring, with available features like all-terrain tires, off-road tuned suspension, and Trail Watch. All from the 2025 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $269 per month lease on a 2026 CR-V all-wheel drive LX.
Other sausage brands use non-meat filler. That's just not.
Welcome back inside Eagle Bank Arena. The Bobcats have the lead on the Patriots 11-6. Steve Colby alongside Debbie Tannehill and our entire hard-working crew. Happy to have you along for the opening round of the WBIT. So far, the Bobcats have drained 3 3-pointers. 2 of those by Grisdale, who only had 1 3-pointer in that championship game. Here's the jumper by Foley, and she got that one to fall to build the lead. Amote, selected to the Atlantic 10 All-Rookie team and also the All-Defensive team. Harris to the corner for MJ Johnson. On the move, stops right on top of the A-10 logo. Little Shot that was rushed there, and then Massenberg tried to pull down the rebound, and she is fouled. Well, the Patriots do have the size that they can bring off the bench. They've done it here with MJ Johnson at 6'3" and Massenberg at 6'1". Their guards really push the pace throughout the course of a game, then they try to wear you down and bring in the bigs.
That was a pretty fast-paced first 5 minutes, so probably a good idea to get some fresh bodies in there, bring a little tempo.
Well, Kennedy Harris, we saw her do it from the left side, this time on the right wing. Gets it done to trim the lead to 5. We've seen this from George Mason all season long. They like to build big leads. Here's Zahira Walton. She is 1-on-2, takes it herself and had the shot blocked, but she is fouled on the way to the basket. She looked over the right shoulder that time, Debbie. There was no troops coming, and she took the shot herself.
She did. She has great footwork. Again, like so calm and poised. You see her start to go a little Euro step around the defense. And the number that we mentioned for Zahira Walton, the time she gets to the free throw line, and here she is.
Zahira Walton this season, 8th in the Atlantic 10 in free throw percentage at 79%, 154 now of 194 on the year. Among the A10 leaders in a number of categories: minutes played, free throw percentage, 2nd in scoring, 8th in field goal percentage, and 11th in rebounds on the year at 6.1 per contest. So far here in the game tonight, the Bobcats are 3 of 6 from beyond the three-point line. They were just 4 of 18 from downtown against Fairfield in that loss in the tournament championship game. Walton hits both, so the Bobcats doing a much better job here tonight from 3, and they were very active from beyond the three-point line against Iona. They were 8 of 26, and against Manhattan, they were only 6 of 23, so they dialed it back a bit from deep last time out. They were unable to get that percentage up.
It's a good number for George Mason to pay attention to in regards to like their success tonight.
I have to think that the more they get them to fall, the more they'll take. A little miscommunication on the pass, but a foul goes on George Mason. Patriots' second WBIT appearance. They also were in this tournament back in 2024. Turnover here by the Bobcats.
Good defense by George Mason. There was a lot of screens and picks going on, and they talked, communicated real well.
Tricia Fabry in her 31st year at the helm and looking to go out a winner. Here's a Moteng. Back outside to Walton. Patriots got away with one there. Nearly 7 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter. Quinnipiac, 13. George Mason, 10. Here's Massenberg, high arcing 3. Back of the iron, no good. And the first-year guard from Brentwood, Tennessee, Ella Ryan, pulls down the rebound. Here we're going coast to coast, and she'll get the layup at the other end.
I watched Quinnipiac play a couple times in prep for this game, and I'm really impressed with Ryan as a first-year player to be able to handle the ball and push it in transition like she did right there. You see, she gets it. She comes from one end of the floor, goes up through traffic, and not shy at all about just taking it herself. We've seen her do that a couple times tonight.
And she wasn't intimidated in that championship game in the conference as well. She had 14 points in 35 minutes with 5 of 15 from the floor. Talked about the first-year player. She was 3rd among first-year players with an average of 10.5 points per game this season. Here's O'Donnell. Try to feed it back out to Grisdale. That is stolen by Walton, and she had her pocket picked again. So both teams now, tenacious defense. Here's Ryan. 32 games with 31 starts this season, trying to avoid the backcourt violation. Good pass underneath and a strong finish by Martin.
That's the risk you take sometimes when you're pressure defense. You almost get the steal. Sometimes you give up an easy bucket on the backside of that.
Martin's first points tonight.
You see again, almost coming up with a steal. George Mason defense was almost headed the other way, and they were able to create an easy basket right inside the paint.
Carson Martin, one of 4 players on this team for the Bobcats that earned postseason accolades from the MAC. She was a MAC third-teamer and also the MAC 6th Player of the Year. Here's Foley. Jumper from the top of the key is no good, and the box out by Komara. Sends ahead for Jada Brown. Cutting was Volker. Right back out to Brown. Crisscrossing with Moteng, who has had a fantastic rookie year for the Patriots. Here's Greenberg. 3-point specialist. Now it's Moteng, and that one will miss and go out of bounds to the Bobcats.
Probably not the shot that George Mason would have liked to have there.
In their last game, Quinnipiac with Fairfield in that championship game trailed 10-9 after the opening quarter, and here muscling her way in is Anna Foley to make it a 9-point lead, the largest of the game for the Bobcats, and now miscommunication between Jada Brown and Moteng, and Moteng had the pass go behind her intended target.
Yep. Had a couple turnovers by each team in the second 5 minutes of this first quarter. And when you're playing against good opponents, you really can't afford that. Like, you need every possession to get a shot.
And Debbie, when you look up and down the schedule this season for both these teams, the Patriots had a 9-game winning streak from December into January that lasted just about a month. On the other side, Quinnipiac had a 16-game winning streak that lasted from December the 19th through February the 14th. They didn't lose a game for nearly 2 months.
That's a stat that tells you the quality of teams that are playing on this floor here today.
And the lead is now 11. Here is number 11 for the Patriots into the corner for Greenberg for 3, and she got it for Greenberg. That is her 13th three-pointer of the season.
Big bucket. George Mason needed that one going into the second.
Ryan with 7 points and Jackie Grisdale with 6 on a couple of three-pointers.
That's the big difference right now, Steven. If you're playing at this point in time, you're a good team. There's no bad teams left, so you have to come out with your best efforts on both ends of the court, and right now, Quinnipiac is winning that.
Turnover is the story of that opening quarter. The Bobcats turned 4 George Mason miscues into 9 points. The Patriots scored just 2 points off of turnovers back in the first.
You just saw another backdoor cut there where Quinnipiac was able to score. One of the benefits of having some really good three-point shooters is it spreads your defense out, and you get those opportunities closer to the rim because everybody's guarding three-point line.
Highly contested shot by Kennedy Harris, and on the move it's Grisdale. Grisdale had just 1 three-pointer in their last game, has 2 already here tonight. A 10-point Bobcat advantage. Martin, 24 games with 5 starts this season and a double dribble. She'll turn it over. That's the 4th turnover by the Bobcats, who are being led by Ryan and Grisdale. For the Patriots, Walton and Harris each have 4.
That time on defense, you saw George Mason help and recover quickly, and they were unable to find that next pass, which led to the double dribble.
Here's Kennedy Harris, averaging 14 points per game, one of 3 Patriots players in double figures. Pulls up for the jumper, rattles in and out, and Moteng battles for the loose ball. Komara can't put it back, and then it's pulled down by Anna Foley, one of the captains of this Bobcat roster. Ella Ryan. Near side, it's Sydney Ryan. She's the older sister. All the way to the far side for Ella Ryan. 90 seconds into the second quarter. Into the corner, and the three-pointer is good by Jackie Grisdale. That's her 3rd 3 of the opening half.
Getting a timeout here by George Mason. I would expect there's going to be a defensive adjustment. Grisdale is all over those three-pointers. You see it right there, another one for her. You're watching the 2026 WBIT on ESPN+.
Hey, so nice to get this. Oh, good.
Not just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Look. Seems like you like her. Just go up to her. Say hello. 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 Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Think the best of the best don't herd together? Rethink how to round up the GOATs. 100 innovative companies, all in one ETF. Invesco QQQ.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus or summary prospectus at Invesco.com.
I've always struggled to find the perfect tenant for my rental properties. That's when I found Turbo Tenant, the landlord from anywhere app. Turbo Tenant helps me find tenant leads, screen tenants, create leases, and collect rent all in one place. From move in to move out, Turbo Tenant helps me landlord better. From anywhere for free. Sign up today at turbotenant.com.
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring Event. Honda vehicles are built for exploring, with available features like all-terrain tires, off-road tuned suspension, and Trail Watch. All from the 2025 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $269 per month lease on a 2026 CR-V all-wheel drive LX.
Get tax expertise without hidden fees. Switch to a TurboTax expert for $150. Say bye to fees and match with a trusted expert to handle your taxes. All forms, all returns, all tax situations.
Welcome back inside Eagle Bank Arena. The Buckeyes up on the Patriots 26-13, a 13-point lead, the largest of this game for Prodep. Let's put the spotlight on Grisdale for a second. In our last 3 games in the tournament of the MAC, 6 of 20. Here tonight, 4 of 5 for 11 points, including 3 three-pointers.
You know, she's a grad student. She's playing for the rest of her basketball career right here. You do not want your season to end. She has a coach that's going to retire. Like, she's playing hard.
Here's Kennedy Harris trying to extend the Patriots season. Just one more game. Banks it in. She now has 6. 26-15. Sydney Ryan started 28 of 38. Down the lane, here comes Martin, and that was partially blocked. And Amoteng will start it the other direction for the Patriots. Walton. Now Amoteng into heavy traffic. Had it swatted away, but recovers. And Kennedy Harris trying to take advantage. Battle for that high arcing rebound. And Anna Foldy using some muscle to pull it down.
Oh.
Here's Sydney Ryan, puts on the brakes. Far side, it's Grisdale. Grisdale had 12 points against Manhattan, was limited against Iona to just 5 points, and had just 5 points against Fairfield last time out. Off the miss, here come the Patriots. Walton, left corner. MJ Johnson inside. Spiraling, and that's blocked away. And the loose ball to Martin. So the block made by Foley, and Martin will start it the other direction. Sydney Ryan, a wide open look, not going to miss many of those.
Quinnipiac started that off with great defensive help.
Motang was churning down the lane, and that'll be the first foul on the Bobcats here in the second.
It's a good push by Motang, just again to go. She's left-handed. She likes to go to that side of the floor. She's a strong finisher. She's going to get herself to the foul line. Mason's going to need a couple of those easy buckets to get back in because, again, Quinnipiac is such a good defensive team. Anything they can get in transition is going to help them.
Including tonight a Motang. 33 games played with 4 starts this season. 77% free throw shooter, now 71 of 91 on the year for Baltimore. Time team captain. And the second one good as well. Patriots as a team are a 74% free throw shooting group. That's kept them in a lot of games, but during their conference games this season, they really didn't have many tests. They beat almost all of their opponents by double figures. Here's Martin. Grisdale. Bounce pass far side to Keeley. Keeley up top to Martin. All the way around to Sydney Ryan, and a foul called here on Trinity Massenberg as O'Donnell went airborne. Massenberg just put the clamps on her.
Just a little too much contact coming across the lane. Like we always would talk about, you want to bump the cutter, but not from the back, and you can't raise your arm like that.
Ella O'Donnell inbound. Keeley, junior guard from Ireland. Back up top, Sydney Ryan. Heavy traffic inside, so the Bobcats will look on the perimeter, and what a pass to Martin, but you can't finish. Great ball movement that time, but Martin missed. Just had so much speed going down the lane.
Yeah.
Here's Zahira Walton. Muscles her way in, and heavy contact under the rim.
Real similar cuts on both ends. If you keep moving, Steve, good things will happen, and that's what Walton does here. She just a little backdoor cut. Kennedy gave her a great pass, and once again, Walton gets herself to the foul line. Can we give a shout out to the Quinnipiac band, which is small but mighty? Like, they have college game day worthy signs over there, and George Mason is shooting in.
You see between 15 and 20 strong. My favorite sign over there is the brick. Adding to the atmosphere around the NCAA landscape, and not only basketball games, but all sports. Bobcats hockey team also expecting a bid to the NCAA tournament. Here underneath, it's Jackie Grisdale, and she is fouled.
Quinnipiac does not stand still in their offense. They're continually moving, forcing people to adjust. Again, just a little back screen. She slipped it, and defense was late coming over.
Grisdale, an 89% free throw shooter. This is her 50th attempt of the year and just her 6th miss of the season.
That's an amazing number right there. 6 miss of the season.
Second one good, one of 2 on that trip. She wasn't confident when it left her hand. She started trying to give it some English as it was in midair. Bobcats were one of the 13 automatic qualifiers to the WBIT. Finished as the regular season champions in the MAC. Here's Volker for 3 from the right corner, and Lewis Volker hits it from the right wing. Volker this season now has 25 threes to her name. Midway through this second quarter, the Patriots trying to chip away at what was a 13-point deficit. Little handoff to Grisdale, and a high arcing 3 that is going to come up empty. And the Patriots will have a chance to trim it even more.
These 3-pointers, they do a lot to chip into those leads. As again, good to get Volker on the scoreboard for George Mason.
In the Atlantic 10 championship game, the Patriots led at the half, 25-24 against Rhode Island, but lost that game in a heartbreaker, 53-51 to the Rams. Second opportunity here for the Patriots. They can't convert, and it's knocked out of bounds. Possession to the Bobcats. Kennedy Harris and Miriam Oteng back into the game, along with Awa Kamara. So wholesale changes here for George Mason and Vanessa Blair-Lewis. Blair-Lewis looking to keep the season alive for her squad. Keeley, now Ella Ryan. Road blue uniforms for Quinnipiac. This is partially blocked by Amoteng, who is aggressive. And off the carom, here's Harris. Amoteng on the baseline, just heaves it up. It's swatted right back in her direction by Awa Kamara. That's what she gives the Patriots under the basket.
Rebounding is definitely her strong suit. She's going to get you multiple opportunities if you don't box her out.
And the Bobcats coaching staff not happy with the way the Patriots are getting these second chances. Kennedy Harris driving, and Kamara on the putback.
There you go.
Now the pressure applied by Jada Brown. And head coach Tricia Fabry has seen enough. She calls the timeout. That 13-point lead has now dwindled down to 5. It's Quinnipiac 29, George Mason 24. You're watching the 2026 WBIT on ESPN+.
Hey, so good.
Not just like somebody on the app, like them in real life. She likes you. Look, seems like you like her. Just go up to her, say hello. 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 Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Welcome back inside Eagle Bank Arena. It's the Bobcats 29, the Patriots 24. The Patriots haven't expanded the offensive perimeter to beyond the three-point line. They've attempted 6 three-pointers. They have only hit 2. The last one by Volker. Martin now for Ella O'Donnell, and off the glass, and that'll count, and she is fouled.
I think this is a much-needed bucket for Quinnipiac. George Mason has kind of stolen the momentum, and you see O'Donnell go into the hoop, not only getting the bucket, but, you know, a chance to make it a three-point play here.
So the senior from Ireland, Ella O'Donnell, who is normally on the other side. She leads the team with 91 assists this season. Gets the basket into the free throw line. So she is a 65% shooter. Doesn't get the roll, comes up short. She's now 59 of 89 on the year. 7-point Bobcats advantage. Amoteng bouncing off a defender. Now it's Harris. The jumper is good, and Kennedy Harris has been right on target with those mid-range jumpers here tonight.
She has, and that mid-range game is so hard to defend when you have a player that can just rise up like Harris does. It's a tough cover for anybody.
Kennedy Harris leads the Patriots in scoring with 8 points on 4 of 10 from the floor. Grisdale leads the Bobcats with 12 points, and here's another chance for Ella O'Donnell, and that's just a duplicate of her last shot.
Yep. And once again, she's able to get in there because George Mason is extremely conscious of the three-point line.
And here it's Grisdale in the way of Zahira Walton, and the foul called on Grisdale. That'll be her first.
Well, no surprise, getting to the foul line again. Quinnipiac wanted the offensive foul called, but I don't quite think Grisdale was set.
Bobcats in the WBIT for the second consecutive season. Last year they lost to Seton Hall in the first round, 57-40. They're well on their way to scoring more than 40 points in this game tonight in Fairfax. The WBIT committee seeded only the top half of the 32-team field. The remaining 16 teams were placed into the bracket by the WBIT committee as close to their areas of natural interest as possible. And Walton misses the second, so the thumbs down sign by the pep band maybe did its job. Here's Martin. 33-27 Bobcats. Ella Ryan open for a moment, and then here comes Volker to swat it out of bounds.
Lewis Volker has done this all season. She likes the block shot. She's good at it. Good sense of timing. Nice clean block.
Volker this season, 77 of 177 in the regular season. And here's a chance for Grisdale. Can't convert for the left side. Komara sends it ahead for Walton. So far, Walton has been kept in check. Only 7 points thus far. For the second leading scorer in the Atlantic 10. And driving George Mason, foul called on Ella Ryan.
It's a little too much contact on that.
Ryan in her last game was 5 of 15 from the floor, including a couple of three-pointers, had 4 rebounds as well. She holds high school records for the most points, most rebounds, most three-pointers, and most steals in her career at Brentwood High School in Brentwood, Tennessee. Here's Kennedy Harris, and that's the first one of those mid-range jumpers that she has missed. But how about Komara? She has done that so often here in the first half, and a miss by Amoteng from the far side, out of bounds to the Bobcats. George Mason shooting just 30% for the game. Quinnipiac shooting 54%. That was up to nearly 64% back in the first quarter.
Yep. Little press by George Mason.
They break it, and that leaves O'Donnell off a great ball movement by Quinnipiac.
That is well executed press break.
35-27. Trying to hem in Walton. Past the screen. Into the left corner. Now bounding in on Sydney Ryan. A little bit of space, shot no good, and Kamara that time keep it alive. Back outside to Martin. Bounce pass to Ella O'Donnell. O'Donnell felt the pressure coming, and the jump ball possession will favor George Mason.
O'Donnell is really good when she catches the ball up there on the kind of mid-post, higher post. She turns and faces the basket, which makes her like, she gets in a triple threat position. She can go either way. She could rise up and shoot it. Makes it real hard to guard.
Final minute of play here in the opening half. Walton works past the screen, set by Johnson. Now it's Harris. Harris has only attempted 1 3-pointer here in the game tonight. Fadeaway jumper from a severe angle, and somehow Kennedy Harris gets it to fall, and she's in double figures. Kennedy Harris in double figures for the 29th time this season and the 58th time in her career. Final 20 seconds of play. Keeley, guarded by Harris. Lobbed in for Ella O'Donnell. O'Donnell looking for that reverse layup, now coming back in the other direction, and MJ Johnson able to draw the foul on the offensive player, O'Donnell.
You see, she just gets a little hook here. Does, again, a great job of turning up and squaring, but when she tries to come back in, can't lead with that arm like she did. Good call by the referee, and good defense by George Mason.
O'Donnell joins Ella Ryan with 2 fouls. Final seconds. Kennedy Harris, and with some speed, who did it go off of last? They're going to call a foul call here, and that's going to go on Grisdale. I believe the Patriots are just For the Bobcats with just 1.8 seconds after the free throws by Kennedy Harris.
Kennedy was going hard right there. She's taking a minute, just catch her breath before she shoots these foul shots.
Kennedy Harris 10th in the Atlantic 10 in scoring and 12th in field goal percentage in the league. Strong on the first. Kennedy Harris on the season, a 75% free throw shooter. In the Patriots' last game, she didn't miss. She was 5 for 5 against Rhode Island in that 2-point loss. Got the second. Cuts the lead down to 6. Into the game, Kayla Johnson for the Patriots along with Paige Greenberg. Want to make sure they don't give the Bobcats a chance here with under 2 seconds to play. Get it into Martin. And that will do it for the opening half from inside Eagle Bank Arena. The Patriots at one point in time were down by 13. They've got a 5-point deficit to work with here.
We've got a game on our hands. And as we would expect, 2 regular season conference champions.
Game, they're first in the nation with 14 road wins this season, looking to tack on one more to that resume. And the Bobcats will get the ball first to start off the second half. Happy to have you along for the opening round of the WBIT. Bobcats moving from left to right, wearing their road blue uniforms. Here's Ella Ryan and an early three-pointer for the first-year guard.
I think Ryan scored the first bucket of the first quarter, so for her to come out here and light it up again in the third quarter, that says a lot about that young first-year player.
10 points tonight for Ryan. Here's Harris. Works away from Grisdale. Knack first-teamer against a 10 first-teamer. Transition, Ella Ryan able to scoop it up, and here she comes, has the numbers, nice look to Martin, and a strong finish, and the Bobcats off to a quick start here in the third.
That was a great pass, great defensive stop first, went up the floor quickly, had her head up, good match by Walton to come back and get one for George Mason.
Well, that's what the Patriots needed, Debbie, after that quick start by Quinnipiac here in the third, and Walton stops the bleeding momentarily. Sydney Ryan all the way around to the corner for Martin.
You notice there's very little dribbling here. They're passing the ball, moving the ball. Went around the horn 2 times before they got it inside.
And Ella O'Donnell on the finish. Plenty of international experience for O'Donnell, one of a number of players on this team that has played for the Irish national team. Here's Harris. 10-point Bobcats lead. Jada Brown right about at the free throw line, and she got it. Jada Brown now has 4 points. She has hit 2 of her 3 shots here tonight. The Bobcats have the lead. They don't have a single second chance point in this game. The Patriots have all 6. Harris on the steal. Slings it ahead to Brown. Walton in transition, and she is fouled by Jackie Grisdale, who just picked up her second.
Again, real nice transition by George Mason, real similar to what we saw from Quinnipiac. Strong take to the hoop. You saw Walton, she just kind of lingered there. I think she went into the back of the basket, but she's back up, fortunately, for George Mason. And at the foul line, which was one of our points of adjustments for halftime. This is not where you want George Mason to get points if you're Quinnipiac.
Walton misses the first. Steady numbers across the board for Walton. She was a 3-time Atlantic 10 Player of the Week. Was in a battle with Maggie Dugan of Richmond throughout the course of the season to see who is going to be named A-10 Player of the Week more. Ella Ryan. All the way around to Grisdale. Marked by Volker. O'Donnell. Cross court. Deep 3, and that is good by Ella Ryan, who's got the range dialed in.
She was almost on that logo.
So Ella Ryan with a couple of three-pointers. She's doing what Grisdale did back in the first quarter for the Bobcats.
Yep. Pay attention how deep she is there. You are watching the 2026 WBIT on ESPN+.
Get tax expertise without hidden fees. Switch to a TurboTax expert for $150. Say bye to fees and match with a trusted expert to handle your taxes. All forms, all returns, all tax situations. $150 all in. No surprises. Now this is taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
New Balance. We got now.
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring Event. Honda vehicles are built for exploring, with available features like all-terrain tires, off-road tuned suspension, and Trail Watch. All from the 2025 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $269 per month lease on a 2026 CR-V all-wheel drive LX.
Other sausage brands use non-meat filler. That's just non-good. Keep it real, people, and keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come, flow with the sounds of the mighty.
Hey, so nice. Look at this. Oh, go.
Don't just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Look, seems like you like her. Just go up to her. Say hello. 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 Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Asking the right question can greatly impact your future.
Are you certified for this?
Technically, no. Especially when it comes to your finances.
Are you a certified financial planner?
I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be a CFP.
Arby's Meat in 3 Box includes your choice of classic roast beef or crispy.
Welcome back inside Eagle Bank Arena. It's Quinnipiac 45, George Mason 34. Been an outstanding environment here in this game tonight with both pep bands keeping the crowd activated throughout the evening. On the long trip by the Bobcats pep band. Been some great interactions between those two bands throughout the course of the evening. Here's Volker. Walton. Driving and just over the shoulder and high off the glass and good for Walton, who now has 11.
Another made field goal. Steve, we talked about that at the break. Neither team has missed from the field yet in this third quarter.
Patriots 5 for 5. The Bobcats have hit both, and both have been three-pointers. Ella Ryan. Will she try another? She has 13 points in the game so far. Her career best is 22 points earlier this season against the College of Charleston. In that game, she made 6 three-pointers. This year, the Bobcats in the follow-up, and an easy 2 for Ella O'Donnell.
I looked across there at Coach Fabry. She's smiling because that play right there was not drawn up. That was a loose ball. We got it. We're going to shoot it. And when things are going your way, you get those.
Here's a Motang. She just lost the ball. Looked up into the basket, and Ryan was able to take it away. Foley across Grisdale. Moving past Volker, and the finger roll will go for Jackie Grisdale.
And that's the result of a really hard closeout because you want to take away the three-pointer, and in the process, you give up the drive.
Here's Walker from the right side. That doesn't go. The box out by Foley. Created space to get the rebound. Lobbed ahead to Ella Ryan, former finalist for Miss Basketball in Tennessee. Foley, jumper, and didn't have much arc on that shot. It flatlined and went in.
Again, the ability to catch the ball and turn and face the basket before you make a move makes you such a threat.
Here's Walton, always a threat from anywhere, and she hits. She's now 4 of 9 from the floor and has a team-high 13 points. We near the midway point of this third quarter. The Patriots have wholesale changes on the horizon. 4 players waiting to enter. Three-pointer no good. Rebound collected by Martin. Off the miss. Martin kicked it back out. Here's Anna Foley, one of the captains. Far side, and Martin able to grab it again. Had it taken away by Walton. Here she comes with Jada Brown.
Great
little
pass.
give and go with Walton, and the finish by one of the Patriots captains.
Great pass. Made that one extra.
What the Patriots needed. The lead still 11 for the Bobcats. And miscommunication here, and Ella Ryan threw it away and turns it over. That is the 9th turnover by Quinnipiac here in the game.
We're going to see a highlight here with Grisdale driving. She's come up big for Quinnipiac. You're watching 2026 WBIT on ESPN+.
Think the best of the best don't herd together? Rethink how to round up the GOATs. Invesco QQQ.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus or summary prospectus at Invesco.com.
Progressive makes it easy to get a commercial auto quote online, so you can get back to all your other to-dos.
Didn't I say trim?
This is better.
See if you can save money at ProgressiveCommercial.com.
My sister's kid.
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring Event. Honda vehicles are built for exploring, with available features like all-terrain tires, off-road tuned suspension, and Trail Watch. All from the 2025 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $269 per month lease on a 2026 CR-V all-wheel drive LX.
Hey! So good.
Got just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Look. Seems like you like her. Just go up to her. Say hello. 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 Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts. They do your taxes, so you can walk out with confidence. Now this is Taxes.
New Balance. We got now.
Other sausage brands use non-meat filler. That's just not good. Keep it real, people, and keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come, flow with the sounds of the mighty.
No, I think he's gonna do it.
Welcome back inside Eagle Bank Arena. Quinnipiac 51, George Mason 40. Both these teams trying to bounce back from their lowest scoring performances of the season. The Patriots were held to 51 points in a loss against Rhode Island in the A-10 championship game in the tournament. And on the other side, the Bobcats were limited to only 44 points in a loss against Fairfield in the MAC tournament championship. So well on their way and over those marks so far tonight. MJ Johnson Substitutions into the game for the Patriots. Komara twisting, turning, firing, and off target and out of bounds to the Bobcats. Quinnipiac has the edge in points in the paint, 24-16, and also points off of turnovers, 13-7, although the Patriots have sort of been able to get that in check after that first half where they were a little bit sloppy.
I think this is going to come down to who can get some stops.
George Mason 7-11 here in the third quarter, and for the Bobcats, just their second miss of the third right there.
Yep.
George Mason has not led here in the game tonight. Greenberg. Kamara right back to Greenberg. Little flip to Johnson, and that's going to be an offensive foul on the Patriots on the block. Automatic qualifiers in the WBIT this year. Rice from the American, Eastern Kentucky out of the Atlantic Sun. UC Irvine from the Big West, Louisiana Tech from Conference USA. San Diego State from the Mountain West, Navy of the Patriot League, Chattanooga from the Southern, McNeese from the Southland, Alabama A&M from the Southwestern Athletic, Georgia Southern from the Sun Belt, North Dakota State from the Summit League, and Loyola Marymount from the West Coast, and these Quinnipiac Bobcats from the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Big congratulations to all of them.
Worked so hard all season long, from preseason workouts through exhibition games, through a non-conference schedule, then into conference play, and all to get a chance at a postseason berth. 2:45 to go. Walton a little bit off balance, then regains her stride and scores with a left hand.
She's so good at creating offense for herself. Like, she literally little stutter left, right, and all the way across the paint to get to the basket.
George Mason on a 6-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes, and a scoring drought nearing 3 minutes for the Bobcats. Ella Ryan trying to snap it, and she does with a finger roll with the left hand. She now has 15 to equal her output for the last game. MJ Johnson blocked from behind by Anna Foley, the junior from Andover, Mass. And a foul called on the play.
It's a good take by MJ again. She kind of, squared up on that wing and then decided to go, as opposed to just put her head down and move, and is rewarded by a trip to the foul line.
Foley picked up her second, one of 4 Bobcats with 2 fouls in tonight's game. And that'll send MJ Johnson to the free throw line. She is a 64% free throw shooter, 34 of 52. Well, Foley, who tried to make the play, is the leader in blocks for the Bobcats with 31 entering today's play. Patriots have gotten it back into single digits now, and Matilda Mota will check into the game for George Mason, freshman guard from Serrano, Italy. Not too far from where they just held the Olympic Games.
Yep. See George Mason put a little bit of full court pressure on here, maybe change the tempo, created a turnover right there.
Well, this year, Mota has appeared in only 8 games, averaging 2.4 minutes per contest. She is 3 of 8 from the field this season, and into the game in perhaps one of the more critical spots for George Mason of their season. Off throw miss, Walton, one chance and a second, and she is fouled on the last attempt, and just too much room for Zahira Walton to work, and it looked like she may have come down on a defender's foot and maybe twisted her ankle just a bit.
Anytime you give Zahira Walton 3 attempts, she's going to make you pay. That was 1, 2, here comes the third, and she's going to the foul line. Which again, the kid just works so hard. That's how she's been able to get to the foul line. We're probably over that 200 mark now throughout the season.
Well, Zahira Walton now has 17 points, looking to tack onto that. Hits again. And Zahira Walton now has 1,405 career points for George Mason. She has moved into 9th place on the all-time program list. Ella Ryan as they break the press into the corner. Sydney Ryan for three, a little off target. And here come the Patriots back the other way, and now momentum to George Mason in the final minute to play here in the third.
And that's what you want when you put a press on. You don't always have to get a steal. You just want them to maybe take a shot that is not their first choice. And I think that was a successful possession for George Mason.
And Kennedy Harris with a runner. She now has 13 points, and she has climbed the all-time points list for George Mason. Here's MJ Johnson off the turnover, and she'll capitalize. And the George Mason Patriots are on a 14-2 run over the last 3 minutes and 49 seconds, and the lead has dwindled down to 3 for the Bobcats.
Again, this press has been a game changer for George Mason. 2 times they've scored off it. Another time they created a turnover. So that's really the difference. You're seeing it right here.
George Mason at one point down by as many as 15. They have not led in this game tonight. 4 turnovers have been costly for the Bobcats over the last 4 minutes and 17 seconds, as the Patriots have now turned 11 Quinnipiac miscues into 11 points, and that has really started to chip away at that deficit. Now the Patriots, a team that plays with a lot of momentum, they have seen other teams dwindle down their leads throughout the course of the year and have been able to hang on. This time they're on the other side of that, and they've been able to get the job done.
Quinnipiac lost one of their starting guards, Paige Girardi, to injury, and their coach mentioned to me earlier that turnovers are really important. They had to be able to take care of the ball, and you're seeing that right here.
Critical point in the game to the corner for Grisdale. Now it's Martin looking for three, and nerves of steel by Carson Martin to drain the three from the right side.
That's exactly what you want to happen coming out of a timeout if you're Quinnipiac. We collect ourselves, talk about the press, and then score.
45 seconds to go in the quarter. Amoteng driving, peels away. Kicked out to MJ Johnson. Works on Ella Ryan, and not much of a shot angle there. And on the ground, here's Sydney Ryan, turns it over, and there is Mota! And Matilda Mota on the board for George Mason, the freshman off the bench in a critical time, and is on the score sheet. Here's Martin. Grisdale. Inside look now with 10 seconds to play. Stolen away. Patriots have a chance here. Pushing ahead, Kennedy Harris. Harris on the move, and the layup no good. And that will do it for the third quarter. And it was wild down the stretch. Three-pointers, inside looks. A freshman making her mark here in the WBI Arena. A 4-point game with the Bobcats up on top of the Patriots, 56-52. George Mason can make it real interesting here with a three-pointer. Walton. George Mason's only attempted 7 threes in the game. Here's Mota. Pestered from behind, and the outlet to Martin. And thought twice about challenging MJ Johnson, who had the height.
Good decision on her part.
Foley. Now Ella Ryan, one of the leading scorers here in the game. Foley once again. Inside look. Ella O'Donnell, and she is fouled, and Komara's not happy.
Yeah, and I don't even think that's a bad foul. I think it's actually a good foul. There was a big mismatch in there. Yeah, she was going to score. So I really think that's probably a good foul.
Well, Mota checks out of the game. She played just 1 year of high school basketball in Story City, Iowa as an exchange student from Italy. And she's on the score sheet in a postseason tournament game for George Mason. And the Patriots work it away. George Mason was 9 of 15 for the floor back in the third. Here is Amoteng driving. Can't convert, and that is going to go the Bobcats' way. And the foul called here on Kamara once again.
Both teams have come out in this fourth quarter. Stephen looked to me a little flustered, I would say. You know, they want to clean it up. 10 minutes is a lot of time, So play your game. Let the game come to you.
Lob for Foley. She has 6 points tonight. Ella Ryan got off to a hot start back in the opening minutes of the third. Ella O'Donnell. She's been strong under the basket. Foley was wide open, but kicks to the corner, and the high arcing three by Grisdale is good. And the MAC first-teamer extends the lead to 7.
That whole play was initiated because O'Donnell caught the ball, turned, and squared up to the basket. She made the help come, and Quinnipiac made one, and then an extra pass to find Grisdale in the corner. You see it, here we go. One more pass. The defense rotation had helped and helped the helper, and Quinnipiac is just able to make that extra pass.
The Bobcats are now 8 of 15 from beyond the arc, with half of those makes by Grisdale.
There she is again. She turns and faces. And
created the space for the layup chance by Ella O'Donnell, who was a little strong on the play. Nearly 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Walton flips for Johnson. Amoteng puts on the brakes, and the shot no good. Rebound, Ella O'Donnell. Here's Carson Martin. We've seen the Bobcats play with such poise here in the game tonight, as have the Patriots. O'Donnell reverse layup, and that was contested by Johnson, and just could not get enough loft on that shot. Kennedy Harris under the basket, and her layup will fall through the webbing.
If I'm George Mason, I'm letting Kennedy Harris touch the ball every time. She doesn't have to score it every time, but I'm going to make sure she touches it.
Kennedy Harris has attempted only one three-pointer in the game tonight. Ella Ryan gives to Foley, whose father played at Boston College and mother played basketball at Holy Cross. Good look by Foley underneath to Ella Ryan. Glass went off the fingertips of Ella Ryan and out of bounds. Patriots basketball. George Mason was 12-3 on their home floor this season. The Bobcats, one of the best road teams in the NCAA, at 14-1.
Something's got to give here.
That's what they say. Patriots suffered back-to-back losses back in early December against Liberty and Princeton, and that propelled them to a 9-game winning streak. Those losses came by 1 point against the Lady Flames and 2 points against the Tigers. 3-point Bobcats advantage. Martin out for Foley. Martin again looks inside to O'Donnell. O'Donnell, little shove on Johnson, who went down, and O'Donnell finishes. She now has a dozen. One of 3 players in double figures for the Bobcats, led by Grisdale, 17. Walton backing down, twisting, turning, fadeaway jumper is no good, and there's Anna Foley, so strong on the board, but the loose ball taken away here by Martin. Doesn't have the numbers. And a good feed, and what a pass, and a strong finish by O'Donnell. What a laser beam focus by Martin to thread the needle.
If you haven't been in that position, you probably don't understand how difficult it is to make that pass. In transition, people are flying by. You got to time it right. Great job by Quinnipiac.
Yeah. And the lead's now 7 with 5:36 to go.
Looking at O'Donnell, I'm so impressed with her. You know, that one, she was almost surprised how open she was, but she has been such a factor running the floor for a post player. Great find and finish.
The winner of this game is going to face the winner of the Stanford Loyola Marymount game. Stanford had a record of 19-13 this season. Loyola Marymount of California, 21-9. First free throw is good by Mary Amoteng.
I think that gives George Mason 13 points. 13 of their 57 points are from the foul line. If Quinnipiac could keep them off of the foul line, they certainly up their chances.
Motang was named to the all-rookie team, becoming just the 6th Patriot to earn that honor. And now CCY off the steal.
Oh.
Trying to create.
Oh, my goodness.
Looking to feed back to Massenberg, and it was just intercepted by Sydney Ryan. Lobbed inside. That's going to be a foul called on Motang, who got a bit aggressive there and picks up her first.
Yeah, I think that might be just a little frustration, a little tired.
That'll bring Matilda Mota back into the game. She has 2 points here today. It's the 4th time this season that she has made one shot. She also scored a pair of points back in the final game of the regular season against Duquesne back on February 28th. O'Donnell works on Massenberg, and it spirals around the cylinder and pops back out. So O'Donnell did everything right, but didn't get the roll.
Yep. Good defense to not foul her. She has great footwork.
George Mason is in the WBIT for the 2nd time. They also made an appearance back in 2024. It's the 2nd time they've ever hosted a postseason game. The first time was back in 2018. Zahira Walton partially blocked, and it goes out of bounds. It's Quinnipiac 63, George Mason 57, final 4:46 here in regulation. You're watching the 2026 WBIT on ESPN+.
Get tax expertise without hidden fees. Switch to a TurboTax expert for $150. Say bye to fees and match with a trusted expert to handle your taxes. All forms, all returns, all tax situations. $150 all in. No surprises. Now this is taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
New Balance. We got now.
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring Event. Honda vehicles are built for exploring, with available features like all-terrain tires, off-road tuned suspension, and Trail Watch. All from the 2025 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $269 per month lease on a 2026 CR-V all-wheel drive LX.
Other sausage brands use non-meat filler. That's just non-good. Keep it real, people, and keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come, flow with the sounds of the mighty.
Hey, Tony, look at this. Oh, God.
Look, just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Look, seems like you like her. Just go up to her. Say hello. Hello.
Hello.
Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Orla exhaust is a pipeline between driver and machine. That stadium concert sound absorbs into your chest, your shift hand, your soul. You are in the zone, fully connected with a rolling jet that breathes fire.
Think the best of the best don't herd together? Rethink how to round.
Welcome back inside Eagle Arena. Quinnipiac 63, George Mason 57. The Patriots in their loss against the Rhode Island Rams last time out in the A-10 Tournament Championship scored 17 fourth-quarter points. The Bobcats scored 15 fourth-quarter points in their loss to Fairfield, but maybe a little bit more nerves here in this fourth quarter because Quinnipiac has scored 7, the Patriots only 5. And Walton from the left side of the lane scores.
7. We talked at the opening of the game that Quinnipiac has 4 that average double figures, and they have 4 players right at those numbers.
Zahira Walton up to 21 points this season. She has 13 20-point games. Debbie, you were talking about the big 4 for the Bobcats: O'Donnell, Ryan, Martin, and Grisdale, who have accounted for the majority of their offense here in the game.
And they've done that all season long. And George Mason, their majority of their offense comes from Harris and Walton, and that's been all season long. And it's, it's harder to guard 4 than it is 2, and I think that's what we're seeing a little bit of in this fourth quarter.
Well, that foursome, O'Donnell, Ella Ryan, Martin, and Grisdale, have taken 40 of the Bobcats' 49 shots in this game tonight. A 4-point Quinnipiac lead. Kennedy Harris activates outside to Johnson. Harris has it again. Driving from the right side. She got it, falling down. Kennedy Harris pulls the Patriots within 2. Remember that the Bobcats at one point in time had a 15-point advantage.
So tough by Kennedy Harris. With contact, inflows, pulls up. Great finish.
A heavyweight battle here tonight in the opening round of the WBIT. From Fairfax, Virginia. Outside, it's Foley. Maneuvering on Kamara. Pulls up the dribble. Inside look to O'Donnell. She'll work on Walton. And that got stuck on the rim. Haven't seen that in a while.
We get a chance to see Kennedy Harris here again, like with contact, in full speed to pull up on balance and make that. Great finish. That's why she's a all-conference performer.
Oh, I saw that happen in a game last week where there was a sitter where the ball bounced on top of the rim and just set right on the back of the iron. Here's Ella Ryan. In for O'Donnell. 12 to shoot. Blocked by Walton. Not only made the block, she got the rebound. The Patriots can tie with a 2. Take the lead for the first time tonight with a 3. Walton backing down. Out for MJ Johnson. Johnson met by a pair of defenders. Outside to Walton now with 10 to shoot. Works on Ella O'Donnell. Walton inside out move off the iron, no good. O'Donnell pulls down the rebound and she is fouled by Zahira Walton. That's Walton's first, the Patriots' 4th.
I think it was a reach in on the rebound. The crowd does not like it.
Final 2 minutes and 38 seconds of this game tonight. Ella Ryan, 15 points. She has hit 3 3-pointers. Directing traffic. Here's Foley into the lane. Back outside to Ella Ryan, quickly marked by Harris. Foley again off the lob. Turns and fires it, got it. How about the shot by Anna Foley? Foley now has 8 points on 4 of 7 from the floor and makes it a 4-point lead.
Oh.
And now Amoteng is going to get called for an offensive foul. A little over-aggressive by Amoteng. That's her second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the shot by Foley.
I mean, the clock was going down. Again, just such good poise to turn and face the basket and then make a decision what to do.
Well, Foley this year, 33 games, 5 starts. She had started every game her first 2 years of the Bobcats before this season. Comes up clutch in a big moment.
That says a lot about the young lady, where you can be a starter and then not be a starter and still turn around and be a contributor for your team.
Martin on the move, right to the lane, and she is fouled by Amoteng again, and that'll send her to the line. She nearly made the basket on a contested shot.
Good penetration, just a bump and then a reach across the body. These are big free throws, 1.5 minutes to go. You're up 4. Season on the line.
And each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Martin at the free throw line, and she'll make the first. For Martin, it's her first trip to the free throw line tonight. We haven't had many free throws on the Bobcats side. That's just their 4th of the evening. The Patriots are 13 of 18 from the stripe here tonight. Ella Ryan on the season, a 79% free throw shooter, and she makes them count right there to build a 6-point lead. Final 90 seconds of regulation. Kennedy Harris works on O'Donnell, kicks it out for Brown. Brown driving, takes the shot, no good, and the rebound O'Donnell. And now the Bobcats can also try to eat some clock. Martin driving into the corner. Grisdale takes the shot, wants to chew up more of that time. Under a minute to go. Bounce pass to Foley. Hit that big shot just a minute ago. Foley into the lane, looking at that same spot, twisting, turning, 2 to shoot, and she throws it away. Kennedy Harris on the move now with 43 seconds to go. Here's Kamara, bounce pass to Johnson underneath the Walton. She'll convert and now has 23, and the Patriots will call a timeout.
Yep. Good decision by George Mason here. Even though you're down, just get a quick 2. They did in transition. Fine. Walton Harris, let him score. Quick timeout is going to allow George Mason, I would think, to set up and press again. We know that Quinnipiac had some trouble with that in that 3rd quarter.
The last time the Patriots hosted a postseason game was back in 2018 when George Mason hosted Stephen F. Austin in the first round of the WNIT. That is also the only postseason win in program history. George Mason looking for its 2nd here tonight. And if they were able to complete this comeback in which they were down by 15 points. (16 A-10 wins for George Mason, also the most in program history. Under Vanessa Blair-Lewis, George Mason has racked up 23 wins back in 23-24, 27 wins a year ago, and added another 23 to that total this season, and have had 14 or more conference wins in each of the last 3 years. For Quinnipiac, 26-6 this year, a 19-1 mark in the MAC. They had a 16-game winning streak from December the 19th through February the 14th. Their only loss at home was on February the 14th, so on Valentine's Day, where Fairfield came in and didn't give them a break. That was their only home loss of the year.
We hope that all of those experiences prepare you for game situation. You practice these game situations in practice. Down to, up to, how much time to go. Now here you are in real life. Smart decision by Quinnipiac.
On court for the Bobcats, Ella Ryan, O'Donnell, Martin, Grisdale, and Foley. For the Patriots, Walton, Harris, Amoteng, Johnson, and Kamara.
By deciding to take the ball out here, they negate some of that press. Oh.
I think Amoteng may have gotten away with one there. She'll feed ahead to Walton. Driving layup is no good. Loose ball on the baseline, and a whistle blows, and a foul called. Hard collision between Mary Amoteng and Carson Martin.
You see this here. Looks like, oh, on the rebound. I think they called the foul on the rebound.
Yeah, looks like Kamara came in there. Collided around, and here's Amoteng looking to inbound for George Mason with 30 seconds remaining. Knocked out of bounds by Grisdale. That benefits the Bobcats to keep the Patriots out of sync. They'll have to inbound it again. Just change positions.
24 seconds on the clock. Again, I think George Mason just wants to get a quick 2.
Walton double teamed, and a reach in here by Anna Foley. Takes another couple of seconds off the clock.
Shot clock's down to 21.
Here's a Motang. She'll get it in. Now it's taken away by Grisdale. Tied up, and the possession arrow will favor George Mason. It's the second jump ball of the game, and both times the Patriots have gotten the ball. Lewis Volker checking in for the Patriots, replacing Komara. So now George Mason has a couple of three-point threats out there in Volker and Harris. Also have some size in MJ Johnson and Walton. Johnson for 3, no good. Volker, under 20 to go here. Whistle blows underneath, and a foul called here on Ella O'Donnell.
I think that'll send Walton to the foul line. Yep. More importantly, clock stops for an opportunity for George Mason to get 2 more points and put that press on if Walton can make them.
Walton, 23 points here tonight on 8 of 20 from the floor, and a little strong on that shot for Walton, who in Atlantic 10 play was 8th in free throw percentage at 79%. Big time to miss a shot. Got the second. Trims the lead down to 3, a 1-possession game with 18.5 seconds left to go and a timeout by Quinnipiac.
I think Quinnipiac is most likely going to take that ball out on the side again and negate the press. Coach knows they have difficulty with that. They don't want to deal with George Mason pressing them up here. They're going to just get the ball on their end of the floor. Woo, this is what the postseason is supposed to be like, right?
Well, you've had experience with this yourself, right? In terms of what kind of pressure there's involved in a postseason game.
Yep, for sure. And again, it's, you work all season long to get in this position. You run how many practice plans and game situations, and then here you are in real life, the end of your season, one team or another is going to be done and go home, and the other will continue on. And it's going to come down to 18.5 seconds.
And the winner of this one will have a second round date on Sunday against the winner of Stanford Loyola Marymount. So a big possession here for the Bobcats with Ryan, O'Donnell, Martin, Grisdale, and Foley. Foley to inbound. Sends it in for Grisdale. She got away from Harris. Now met by Walton, and before she went out of bounds, a foul called on Kennedy Harris. Both teams are in the bonus. And a couple of huge free throws coming up for Jackie Grisdale, who on the season is an 89% free throw shooter tonight. She is 1 of 2. Remember, she missed just her 6th one of the year earlier, and she makes the first. Makes it a 2-possession game.
She doesn't even dribble, Steve. Most people take a dribble at the foul line. She just catches the ball and shoots it.
Grisdale with 19 points. She had a very tough last couple of games of the MAC tournament, scoring 5 points in each against Iona and Manhattan, and also against Fairfield had 5 points. She had 12 against Manhattan. However, tonight has exploded for 19 points to lead all Bobcat scorers on 6 of 11 from the floor. 4 3-pointers, 2 of those came early in the first half and 2 in the second half, and 3 of 4 now from the free throw line.
Both teams played, obviously, conference opponents in their championship who they had played before and who are very familiar with their best players and how to guard them and how to play them. And that's one of the great things about coming into postseason play. You're most likely playing an opponent you haven't seen before. and it just kind of gives everybody a little room to show who they are.
The Bobcats trying to hang on for a win in the first ever meeting between these two programs. Harris to inbound. The Patriots are going to have to work quickly. Kennedy Harris, high arcing three, and she misses it. Here's Walton spiraling under the basket. It goes out of bounds to Quinnipiac.
It was a good play. Mason got the shot they wanted. Kennedy Harris coming off that fade.
Off the inbound, Grisdale scampers away from Kennedy Harris, and the foul by Walton, but that is going to come too late for George Mason with under 3 seconds remaining here tonight. The Patriots fell behind at one point in time by 15 points, battled back to make it a 2-point game, but the Quinnipiac Bobcats, give them credit, they battled all the way to the end and were able to find a spark here in the fourth quarter.
They did. Quinnipiac, I think, was determined to find a way to win. George Mason had dug a really deep hole and had to expend so much energy getting back in the game. Really good play by both teams.
Final heave from midcourt. And for this George Mason Patriots squad that battled all season long and had a chance to win the Atlantic 10 tournament championship but fell short in that. However, they did share a portion of the A10 regular season title. So back-to-back A10 championships for George Mason, one in the postseason and one in the regular season, turned away by Quinnipiac here in this game tonight, and Quinnipiac will move on for a Sunday game against the winner of Stanford and Loyola Marymount of California.
I think certainly both teams can be proud of their effort here today. They look like two very good teams. Their best player stepped up and shined for them, and certainly the ability